Welcome to Monster Monday. So tonight I'm going to be talking about the movie Howl, which is a werewolf movie. And as we all know, there isn't a hell of a lot of them out there, unfortunately. And there's even less good ones. Now, I got this at the Dollar Tree a couple days ago. I went in, and every once in a while, if you go into the Dollar Tree, they'll actually have a good selection. And not only did I get this, but I got all of these as well. So what we got here is we've got The Signal with the hologram cover. I saw this movie a long time ago, but I barely remember it, and I know it's really beloved. It's even got a freaking slipcover and everything. I mean, a lot of these are magnet releases. I got Sushi Girl. Yeah, Dollar Tree. Brand new Dollar Tree magnet releases. I got Final Girl, which I've actually never seen. I know a lot of people don't like it, but for $1, Abigail Breslin and Wes Bentley. So, and it's on like Netflix, but as I said, for $1, if for some reason I'm that odd man out like I always am, you never know. Trash Fire, which was directed by Richard Bates, who did a movie called Excision, which I absolutely loved. I actually really enjoyed this one too, and a lot of people didn't like it. And I also liked his other movie, Suburban Gothic, and he's got a new one coming out here pretty soon as well. So I wanted to pick that up. $1, why the hell not? I got a chick fighting movie here called Lady Blood Fight. And I looked up the reviews, and people just said it was a bunch of hot chicks beating the shit out of each other, and it had some decent ratings. So I was like, for $1. Why not? This had excellent ratings. It's called Keen, and it is produced by Steven Soderbergh. And this, as I said, it has excellent reviews. So I was like, oh, okay. And it stars Damian Lewis from Homeland. So definitely could be some hidden gem that I've never heard of. Now, I also got the Puffy Chair, which is the Duplass brothers' first movie, to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure that's like their starter film. So I've never seen that one, but I do like the Duplass brothers. We also got Weirdsville, which I looked up the synopsis of this movie. It's got Taryn Manning in it. It's got Scott Speedman from the Underworld franchise, and Wes Bentley. Yet again, Wes Bentley's in the Dollar Tree a lot, I guess. But yeah, the premise and the cover and all this looks nuts. So, from the director of Pump Up the Volume and Empire Records. Ooh, love Empire Records. It's Rex Manning Day. All right, and another movie that I really want to give another try to, because I didn't really know how I felt about it on the first viewing, but I will be watching it soon. I know a lot of people love it, is the movie Honeymoon. So another magnet release. A lot of great movies at the Dollar Tree, brand new, man. And finally, we got Headshot with Iko. I don't know how to say his last name, but from the Raid franchise. He has a new show on Netflix that I don't know. The special effects on it look terrible. It's called like Woo Warriors or Woo something. I saw the trailer and I saw it was Iko, and I was like, oh cool, Iko's on a television series and it's by Netflix and it's like a martial arts, maybe sci-fi kind of thing. I was like, hell yeah. And I watched the trailer and was like, oh no. So anyways, all right, a lot of time spent here, but there you go, man. That's all the movies I got for $12 for all of these. So let's talk about Howl. Now, big werewolf fan. I've covered a few werewolf movies on my channel. I'd like to cover more. I definitely do the obvious, like American Werewolf in London, and follow it up with its sequel. I'd never done that one, and I know it's very beloved, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, so it'll not be like the first time I watched it, but I don't remember a good amount of it, so I really do look forward to checking that one out again. So now, I liked this. I've seen it once. I remember thinking it was good, and here we are again, and it's good. I don't love it, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Definitely worth $1, absolutely, to throw in the the very small werewolf collection because there's not many. I cover Bad Moon on the channel, which is, I've always stated it to be my favorite werewolf movie. Also Big Bad Wolf, which I love and was blown away when I reviewed it here on the channel. But yeah, so I also need to do the Howling movies. I want to do those, but man, I do not want to revisit 4 or 7. Fuck. Guys, the original Nightmare is my original nightmare. Howling 4 is so fucking boring, except for that one, like, puddle, oozy, rise from the shit, like, scene. The one cool scene. It's, like, on the back of the poster, the back of the DVD and all that. Besides that, the movie is so unbelievably dramatically boring. Like, it's trying to be dramatic, but also slow. Oh, it's god-awful. All right, so let's talk about Howl. Like 6 freaking minutes into this damn thing. Well, 7 with the opening credits now. All right, so this guy, Joe, has a job that I just could never do in a million years. The way he has to be, not only does he find out that he doesn't get the promotion and that he's told he has to go to work right after that when he didn't even think he had to. And then everyone on board is treating him like shit. This girl says that she's staring at his tits, or her tits, which is fucking impossible because she's wearing a scarf and a jacket. What does he have, X-ray vision? But I think she's just saying that to be a bitch so that he'll fuck off. And then, everyone on board is just being a total asshole. Everyone there is just like, his job is, he's scum to them. Like, I'm not sure. I've never really been on many trains. I mean, I personally have never been on like a subway, or I've been on the light rail here in Phoenix maybe once or twice, just never really been on it. I don't live near it. And I've never been to New York. I never touched the one in California. So my train experience is very, very limited. But people who ride the train every day, the guy who comes and checks their tickets, I don't know. I can only assume that they kind of treat them like, a teller at the DMV or something, where it's just like, oh, great. Here comes some, uptight asshole whose only job it is to fucking, waste my time or try to charge me more, whatever. And he has to go around and he's got this chick there and he's like, you got your ticket? She's like, I can't find it. And he's like, I'm going to have to charge you. He says like 39 pounds? Holy shit, 39 pounds? That is expensive, man. What in the hell is this train? It just felt like it was like, it has like multiple stops as it goes. It's like a freaking bus or something. 39 pounds? That's what he says. That's a lot of damn money. So that was, when he said that, I was like, whoa, did she have to buy like this, year pass or something? Jesus Christ. And then not only is he rejected by the promotion, not only is everyone's an asshole to him, including, now this chick, she probably could have went more for the flirting angle than the initial, like, oh, are you serious? I have to pay for this shit? But I'm not saying that's what women should do. Oh, God, never mind. I'm not going to fucking talk to sensitive pieces of shit. Man. All right. I always feel like I've got to address sensitive ass people who might be watching so they can go off on some tangent. Because that's what everyone wants to do these days. They want to expose you as some racist or some sexist or some bigot or something. Like, everyone's just salivating, waiting for someone to say something that they could possibly label as sexist or something. And it's a very annoying culture that we live in. Very, very annoying. Anyway, I have to keep in my mind like what someone could take wrong and offensive and all. It's so stupid. I don't even know why I play into it, to be completely honest, because I love my channel. And yeah, anyway, all right. Let's move on. And I feel like Joe is a little too attractive to get as much shit as he does, and also like the girls in this movie seem to all have, they all treat him like he's a absolute full blown creep. Don't stare at my tits. Oh, you're gonna fucking charge me for this? And like she looks at him like, why don't you get a real job or something? And then the girl he asks out, she's like, no. I don't know. He seems like a pretty stand up guy. He's a fairly attractive guy. Like, yeah, I don't know. They treat him like he's the plague in this, and just, I don't know, just doesn't feel like it. All right, we got Alfred from Gotham here, Sean Pertwee, which is in another werewolf movie, a better werewolf movie, Dog Soldiers. And he is barely in this thing. I mean, barely at all. And there is a deer trapped under the train. Would that really, I mean, did I miss something? Like, that's what stopped the train? A deer? Like, wouldn't it just obliterate the deer? I guess, I mean, it's actually, it catches up. There's no way it would stop a train. So as I said, maybe I looked down, was writing a note when they saw something on the track and then like hit stop or something. Like, there's just no way there's no way a deer stopped the train. So if that's what the fucking movie's saying, bullshit. So I hope I missed something there. I like how people in this movie freak so fast when there's, you know, something wrong and they're inconvenienced, and it's like, well, I want my money back, and when does the train move, and where's the driver, and what are you doing? And it's like, dude, the train's been stopped for a minute. Jesus Christ, let the people do their jobs. I mean, this is an absolutely ridiculous scenario where werewolves show up, but in reality, the train stopped. It broke down for a minute. Like, chill the fuck out. They're gonna have someone out really quick. All is gonna be well. Sorry, you're gonna miss your freaking Matlock. That's what I was thinking in my head, but I mean, this is pretty recent, so I don't know why the hell I went there. I'm like thinking of a different time period in my head, but yeah. Matlock. What the fuck am I talking about? It's 2-something in the morning. I didn't sleep very well last night. I worked all damn day. I am so tired. I am fighting back a yawn this entire time. It's right here. It just keeps, like, my mouth wants to yawn, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So when they leave the train, they decide to walk down in the forest next to the track. Why not follow the track the whole way? Why are they out in the wilderness, in the shrubbery down there, where they could trip over God knows what? They could encounter whatever that's like hiding in the shrubbery or the bushes or the fucking, you know, behind anything, fallen tree or whatever, and go on the clear path that's right there in front of you and would lead you to, why walk, you know, like parallel to it when it's right there? Like, that made no sense to me. Walk on the tracks. You know there's no train coming. You were in the train and it broke down. And unless another train freaking blast through that thing and is still on the tracks enough to kill you, I think you would hear that and you'd be all right. So I don't know why they're not on the tracks, and this makes no sense. Oh, the yawn was trying so hard there. I had to like bite on it. I'm not doing it. You ain't getting me to do it. So they find the remains of the driver, and he is absolutely mauled, mutilated, brutal stuff. Awesome. And then the old lady gets her leg bit into, and that wound is actually pretty gnarly. And when they're trying to like poke on it. Now, the only thing I will say though is her reaction to the stimulation that the girl is adding to it, whether it be the liquid she pours on it, no matter what it was, she would be in agony. Even if it was just water, it wouldn't matter. And then she grabs it and she presses on it, and blood squirts through her hand and rushes. And it's pretty gnarly. When she pulls it away, the wound isn't really good, because the special effects guy did this stuff for The Descent. So the special effects in this are pretty good. There's some CGI, but for the most part, I actually really like the special effects in this. And the werewolves are unique. I've never really seen any kind of werewolf like this. But she doesn't react at all to the pain that would come from her pressing on her leg or anything. She keeps pressing on. And the woman's just like she's just kind of reacting to how anyone would react after their leg had been injured, like just a normal oh no. But when she's pressing on, there's no extra screams. There's no moving around. Nothing. She has no reaction to her. Now maybe a werewolf bite doesn't hurt as much. I don't know. I'm stretching here. Never mind. It doesn't make any sense. All right. And then, of course, the girl gets a phone call. I thought this was actually pretty clever, but the girl gets the phone call, and everyone's like trying to yell at her, like, this is what you need to say right now. Like, we only have reception for a second. Tell her where the fuck we are, all that stuff. And the werewolf comes through the window, grabs her, and yanks her out and pulls her up and out. So they get one working cell phone in the movie, and it gets yanked out the window with the girl. I thought that was really cool. To eliminate the cell phone, the girl gets taken along with it. So I dug that. And I love the old man's speech that he gives to him. Essentially, just stop being little weak ass bitches. That these are apex predators, man. They're coming after their prey, and the weak ones go first. So stop being a little pussy. Get a weapon, and don't go out so simply. So I like his little speech there. It's pretty good. The werewolves in this movie kind of remind me of the face and the way they move and all that. Kind of reminds me of something like Goro from Mortal Kombat, or like Rawhead Rex, something like that. It's an interesting looking werewolf. Never seen anything like it. For one thing, it's almost like a hairless werewolf. It has some hair, but it's very, very scattered, and it's very thin, and it's very, it's not everywhere. It's mostly flesh tone, and I found that to be very interesting, which kind of makes a little more sense if you think about it, because a werewolf is half man, half wolf. So it would have more features of a man than just standing upright, right? So having the appearance of human skin and then some animal fur in places, actually, I don't know, like it's an interesting blend that you just never see. So I dug the difference. I mean, I don't want to see the same looking fucking werewolf every movie, but as I've said a million times, I don't want to see a dog either. I don't want to see a wolf. That is the biggest cop-out in werewolf history. Don't ever put a damn wolf in a werewolf movie, okay? It needs to be a two-freaking-legged, standing upright man-wolf. Half bear, half man-pig. And okay, this is something I almost want to make it its own video on, just kind of an address, and I might do it anyways, but I'm going to talk about it really quickly here. I've talked about this in other videos, but I just can't ever get over this. So in any classic monster movie, whether it be a vampire, a werewolf, a zombie, or what is something else? A mummy, or, well, I guess a mummy wouldn't really work, but any classic kind of monster. So if you're ever in a werewolf movie, the people always know what a werewolf is. They're always like, oh, you know what it is? There's a full moon and silver bullets, and it must be a werewolf. No one's ever like, what is this thing? What is this beast? It looks like a man, but it's actually a dog, but it's a combination between the two. What could it possibly be? Let's come up with our own name for it. Same thing with vampire movies. It's always like, oh, they'll suck your blood, and they don't like garlic, and they know all the lore. They know all of the background of all of them. But every zombie movie, not everyone, but majority, like 90 to 95%, even The Walking Dead and freaking tons and tons and tons of them, they'll never utter the word zombie, A, and B, the people in the movie will act like There's never been anything like zombies, even in fiction, because they're like, what are they doing? They're biting people and they're rising from the dead. And I don't get this. I don't understand why. Why do werewolf and vampire movies, the people always know the lore, but in zombie movies they never do? I don't get that. I've never understood that. So there you go. Anyway, all right, ran over. Can someone explain to me why that is? All right, moving on. Oh man, so we got the geeky guy. He comes in and he axes this werewolf in the face multiple times, just going ape shit on this thing. Awesome, good for him. And then it actually pops back up, or a different one pops back up. I would assume that it was a different one, but I thought that was the only one. And so he grabs the fire extinguisher, Joe does, and he comes over and he just smashes this thing's face until there's only like the bottom of his jaw left. Another brutal kill, but thank you. Like, your next that I did yesterday. Finish the little son of a bitch when he's on. Well, he's a big son of a bitch, but finish the son of a bitch when he's on the ground, please. You gots to. And of course, the business guy in this movie. They've always got to have. This is a shout out to Dylan Clancy. I miss you, buddy. But they always got to have the obligatory cunt. They just always do. They always got to throw in, like, werewolves aren't enough. They got to have another villain, another human villain in the movie that does the wrong thing, that betrays the people, that whatever. Who's a misogynistic prick, like he is in this. Because that girl talks to him and she's like, I did an interview with you and all you wanted to do was bed me. And his excuse was, well, I would have hired you and you would have been excited about the job until you got pregnant, and then you would have taken maternity leave, and then when you came back, you would resent the job for taking you away from your kid, and you'd be so concerned with trying to lose the baby weight, blah, 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 blah. You know, typical old school misogynistic mentality, which, I mean, I know it's still a thing for sure, but I do think that kind of stuff is dying out. Although I'm sure I'll be called a misogynist for earlier claiming that a girl just needs to flirt anytime that she can't seem to get her, shit together around a guy, and it's like, well, I'll just flirt my way out of this situation, because nope, not getting into it. All right. And I love that there's tons and tons of werewolves in this. There's just kind of a whole pack of them outside. And then they find that the girl who was pulled out earlier with the phone is actually up in a tree being eaten alive, not like an hour later. Oh man, this girl should have been begging for death. To be eaten alive. That's just like slowly too. This ain't no shark who comes up and snatches you and chomps on you until you're dead in like a minute. No, this is something that slowly eats away at you for, hours, days. Can there be a worse death? I'm not honestly sure. And then, of course, the obligatory cunt here kicks the girl off the train while holding on to her weapon. But he gets his comeuppance in this, and I quite like how they handled his demise. And it's so sad to watch her beg for her life when she's out there, because we can all relate to this. I would hope that you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't want my life to end. Like, no, not now. And I always think about that. It just bums me out to think about dying too young and so stupidly. And yeah, then the dude locks them on the train after he jumps off, and then the other dude who works for the train company comes out and throws like a Molotov cocktail and saves the day, but then he gets mauled and left behind, and then they run off, and Joe, who asked this girl out earlier and she wasn't interested in him at all, but now that he's helped her and he's gonna risk, sacrifice his life, then I guess he's worthy of a kiss. And so she kisses him and she's like, come with me, and he's like, no, I'll hold him off, which I've always wanted, because I hate the hold him off thing. I've talked about this a lot. But I just wanted to see him hold them off for a second and munch on him, and then to just have her get hit anyway. Like, completely pointless. They should have just ran off together. Although they both would have died in that scenario anyways. But they'll hold them off. I'll buy you time. It never works. Don't do it. But yeah, she gets away, and then Joe is turned into a werewolf, and he comes back and kills the asshole who left them behind to die. So, poetic justice. But yeah, it's a fun flick. If you see it at the Dollar Tree, it's absolutely worth $1, but it is on Amazon Prime. So you can check that out on there. I know Headshots on Netflix, and Honeymoons on something like Amazon maybe, and Puffy Chairs on Netflix, and Trash Fire I think is on Netflix, Final Girls on Netflix, Signal I think is on Netflix. So a lot of these can be found on Netflix. But hey, the reason I collect physical media is because A, Netflix ain't always going to be around. And B, I just don't trust the internet. And I mean, look at Ultraviolet recently. They went under and everyone lost everything they had with them. Fuck that, man. Like, I'm going to buy everything on iTunes and then what? You never know what's going to happen. Who knows? Some fucking, market crash could happen and Apple could go under or some crap, or they could sell out the business and they could discontinue iTunes and then you lose everything you bought. Thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, I have this and I always have it. And it's right here. And physical media, for me, will just never be replaced. I know it'll eventually go out. I get it. I know. But for now, physical media is where it's at. I can't rely on the internet. I can't rely on it. I don't like it. And plus, I love displaying it. I love having people come over and just show it off. It's just, I love it. It's a part of me. Anyway, guys, I got to get some sleep. Good night. I didn't yawn. Oh, man. It was hard, but I did it. Now I'm going to go yawn like a motherfucker. Adios.